One of India's finest actors and the man who played the role of Pushkar Nath Pandit in the film The Kashmir Files, Mr. Anupam Kher now joins me live on India Today television. Mr. Kher, I'm quite shocked by the fact that you've got this international jury head who's coming to Goa to be a part of IFFI, coming out and dissing Kashmir Files, which lakhs of people across the country actually watched and quite enjoyed. Now, even if he thought it not to be a good film, which is his right to have any opinion on that film, why do you think this played out in the way that it did, where you've got the head of the jury coming out and criticizing your film in the manner that he did?
It's a sick mind. It's a mind which is vulgar. It's a mind which believes in propaganda. Only a person like that can come up with something like this. He has every right as a jury member to criticize the film and to say that I did not like the film, but to choose the platform of International Film Festival of India and make a specific statement like that, I can only say that only a sick person, mentally unstable person can do something like this. And also a person whose people have gone through Holocaust, for him not to understand the tragedy of genocide of Kashmiri Hindus and be insensitive towards them, I think it's not only horrifying but it's shameful also. But we have such people all over the world. There are some people who would constantly say that, but he specially chose these words, which is what made me angry and what has made millions of people angry about it. Because he had an agenda in his mind, and he was obviously specific and directing his statements to some people who will then jump up and sort of say, okay, yes, look at this international jury member or chairman, he said this, so what we have been saying, who I call toolkit gang, they have responded to it. But apart from that, there is no truth in what he is saying, because we don't have to even give it any respect by even talking about that. But it's upsetting, it's hurtful, and it is sad that somebody should make a statement like that.
But to use the platform of an international film festival for such crass propaganda, because this is a film that was waiting to be told. It's a film that touched a very deep chord with people across the country. Now to come out and diss it in this fashion when you've been invited as a guest to come and make a public spectacle of it, this seems to be very, very politically motivated.
It's pre-planned also, Rahul. It looks like pre-planned also. If he felt something like this, he could have done it on his Twitter handle or on an Instagram handle that I was a jury member and this is what I thought. But for him to take out a paper and read out his statement, it does come across as a very pre-planned kind of a thing. He did want to have this impact, and he did want to sort of take away the tragedy of so many people and give it a twist and give it an interpretation which only, as I said in the beginning, a mentally unstable person will do. And I'm calling him mentally unstable because, and I'm very responsibly saying that, because no human being will say something like this. We have every right to not like a film. There are people who may thought then that fine, it was not. But you have been invited to be the jury chairman. You have been asked to, there is certain decorum that you use. You don't use this kind of foul and filthy and loose statements about a film giving an interpretation. So I think it was unfortunate that it happened on the last day of film festival. I attended the film festival. I was there for 2 days. I was very proud of the fact that the way festival was done. I said, wow, we finally reached a stage where we are conducting our international film festival with so much of administrative skills and so much of finesse and so much of professionalism. And look at it was supposed to be also the night of For the People, the series which I like very much. They were going to show their first episode, the main lead actor was there. Whole thing of 10 days work has gone down the drain by this one single statement of this person.
No, but let's take Fauda for example, and I've seen all the episodes of Fauda which have been aired so far. In those seasons, either you can say it's very well made, it's gripping, it's a fantastic watch, or somebody can turn around and say it's propaganda for the Israelis, portraying the ISIS or portraying the Palestinians in a particular way. The fact is, a lot of what is shown is true. It's shown from a certain point of view, and that's the whole idea of filmmaking or making any of these serials, that the director, the actors, they show events and depictions in the way that they see it. So what is propaganda and what is a good film?
No, I would like to ask through you that will he call Schindler's List a vulgar propaganda film?
Absolutely.
Will he call The Pianist a vulgar propaganda film? Will he call Life is Life is Beautiful a vulgar? Will he have the courage to do that, to go to America and call Schindler's List, or go to Israel and call that? But he chose this because obviously he had some support or the other. That's how I want to say. Unless he lost his balance at that particular moment.
No, but from what I've been researching, I didn't know much about Nadav Lapid before this, but he seems to be somebody who has these kind of views and has expressed them in the past. Do you think that's something also for the organizers to reflect on, who was called in as the jury chair at IFFI?
तो फिर शायद तो मैं हिंदी में इसका जवाब देना चाहूंगा. तो राहुल, शायद उसको हर प्लेटफॉर्म पे जूते खाने की आदत है. वो ऐसी स्टेटमेंट देता है, उसको जूते पड़ते होंगे हर जगह. अब यहाँ भी ऐसी स्टेटमेंट दी है, उसको जूते तो पड़े रहेंगे. एटलीस्ट बहुत सारे लोग जो जिनसे मैंने बात की है, तो या तो उसको अच्छा लगता है कि मैं समटाइम पीपल वांट टू स्टैंड आउट बाय मेकिंग ए स्टेटमेंट लाइक दैट. सम पीपल वांट टू बी नोटिस्ड, बट दे आर गेटिंग नोटिस्ड फॉर ऑल द रॉन्ग रीजंस. It's a perspective of people. You see, since Kashmir Files has come, it has affected, it has impacted people so strongly that people who were trying to sort of put forward a kind of a narrative which was a different narrative, this film did impact that narrative. This film did show the tragedy of Kashmiri Hindus. This film did show that 500,000 people were thrown out of their own homes on the 19th of January 1990. So it did derail the agenda of certain section of people in India or maybe internationally also. So so they needed to sort of make that redundant and sort of make a statement like this. Otherwise, the moment statement made, how come there was, it suddenly within 30 seconds this thing started trending? Because there were people who were prepared. I'm sure that's why it was pre-planned. People were told that this will, and I'm not just talking through my hat. You and I have been now in this profession, various, and when I say social media profession, you know more about it, that they knew and it started trending. All the people came out of their cocoon and their
no, but it's not just the social media trolls.
See what has happened.
A lot of political parties, including the principal opposition, have also had their leading lights come out and cite what this Israeli filmmaker has said and say, see what the Israelis, or making it seem as if the Israelis feel this way, even though it's just one particular filmmaker, Nadav Lapid, who said it, but this has given political ammunition to some of the opposition parties.
Obviously, that they will. Why do you think that they were not part of this toolkit gang? They were in any case saying this is all a propaganda film. They were. Why will they use this? Why will he use these words? These are the words which certain section of people, the political party people, so-called, also have been using. You had a chief minister of Delhi who said this film should be put on YouTube. So I'm sure he must be also very happy. You have other political leaders who must have waiting for something like this to happen. Anything to make the government of the present government, which is right now in the ruling party, to embarrass them. But they do not remember that they not only they are embarrassing them or trying to embarrass them, they are also taking away the sensitivity towards so many of people who are victim of terrorism all over the world. Forget about Kashmiri Hindus. Even Muslims who are a victim of violence or terrorism, they are being insensitive towards them. All these people, and it's the usual suspects.
I'm going to leave it over there.
Sorry,
you make that point about Schindler's List, about Fauda as well, which was the star attraction at this international film festival. Now, is that propaganda? Is it gripping? Is it really well made? I mean, ultimately, it is for people to choose. And in the case of Kashmir Files, you have to respect the fact that lakhs of film goers across the country have come out and they watched the film. It's one of the biggest Bollywood hits. The numbers speak for themselves, and that is something you simply have to reflect. And as far as propaganda, you can literally call anything propaganda if that is your political cause. Anupam Kher, for coming out, speaking strongly as you always do. Thank you so much for taking out time for India Today. Appreciate this. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Rahul. Thank you so much. Take care.